Hey, welcome back to Keep Smiling English Academy. In today's video, we're going to talk about comparatives and superlatives. So first of all, let's start with what is a comparison. We use comparative structures when we want to express a difference between two things or two people. So for example, we can say, I'm taller than him. Or he's more intelligent than me. So what's a superlative? We use superlatives when we want to express the highest degree of something. For example, if there is a group of people, you can say, John is the tallest. Okay, that means that he is the tallest amongst the group. Okay? Now let's move on to the different types of comparison when we use adjectives. We have three types. We have superiority comparatives, we have inferiority comparatives, and we have equality comparatives. Let's start with superiority comparisons. In order to express a higher degree of something, we need to pay attention to the number of syllables of each adjective. Okay? So we're going to classify them into one-syllable adjectives, two-syllable adjectives ending in Y, and two or more syllable adjectives. So let's start with one-syllable adjectives. We have the adjective smart. Okay? If we want to express a higher degree with one-syllable adjectives, we simply add ER at the end. So the comparative adjective of smart is smarter. Okay? And when we put that in a sentence, we normally add than after the comparative adjective. So we say, I'm smarter than you, or you're smarter than me. Okay? When expressing superiority with one-syllable adjectives, we have to talk about a couple of special cases. Okay? So we have to look at the ending of the adjective. If the adjective ends in consonant, vowel, consonant, okay, we will have to double the last consonant when we add ER. Okay, this happens in adjectives like big or hot. So we say, my dog is bigger than yours. Okay, my dog is bigger, double G. Or we say, today is hotter than yesterday. Okay, hotter with double T. Okay, then we have the case when we have an adjective with one syllable ending in E. Okay, like nice or fine. In this case, obviously, we only add R. So we would say nicer, or we would say finer. So let's move on to two-syllable adjectives ending in Y, like happy or lazy. In this case, we have to change the Y into I, and then we add ER. So we say, John is happier than Mary, or we would say, John is lazier than Mary. Lazier with an I-E-R. I-E-R. So let's move on to the third case. Adjectives with two or more syllables. In this group, we have adjectives like difficult or intelligent or handsome. Okay? The rule here is that we don't add ER. Okay? We add more before the adjective. So it would be more plus the adjective. For instance, difficult. My exam was more difficult than yours. Okay? Or intelligent. Dolphins are more intelligent than cats. Okay, so this is the easiest bit. Okay? Now let's move on to inferiority comparatives. This type of comparisons are very easy because we don't have to change the adjective. Instead of using more, we use less with every adjective. That tree is less tall than this one, or my bag was less heavy than yours. And finally, let's talk about equality comparisons. For equality comparisons, we use a different structure. Okay, we don't use the structure more something than or adjective er than. Okay, we have to use the structure as, adjective as, always. Okay, so you can say, I am as tall as Jim. Okay, or Jim is as smart as me. Okay, that means the same. Okay, the same degree. As smart as. Also, when you make an equality comparison negative, we can use so, adjective, as. She is not so happy as me. Now let's move on to superlatives. The typical structure for a superiority superlative is the plus the adjective ending in est, or the most plus the adjective. For adjectives with one syllable or two ending in y, we say the biggest, the hottest, the funniest, the happiest, okay? And for adjectives with which we use more, we say the most plus the adjective. The most interesting, the most intelligent, the most difficult, okay? So, for example, we say, today is the hottest day of the year, or this is the most interesting book I've ever read. With shorter adjectives, we add est. With longer adjectives, we add the most, okay? And remember, with superlatives, we normally have to use the, okay? The tallest, the most interesting, the most difficult, the hottest, and so on. And if you want to express the opposite idea of most, or the superlative, we use the inferiority superlative, okay? And this is very easy to do because we only have to use the expression the least, okay? So we use the least plus the adjective, okay? So you say, this is the least interesting book I've ever read, or this is the least difficult exam I've done in my life, okay? The least plus the adjective. The least plus the adjective. Oh, and remember, we have three important irregular adjectives. This means that they don't follow the rules that I just explained, okay? These are, can you guess? That's right. They're good, bad, and far, okay? As you know, we don't say good, gooder than, okay? We say good, better, and the superlative form is the best, okay? Good, better, the best. And then with bad, we say bad, worse, the worst. Bad, worse, the worst. And with far, we have two options, okay? We can say far, farther than, the farthest, or we can say far, further than, the furthest, okay? So that's all for now. I hope you find comparatives and superlatives a lot easier now. And if you have any questions, don't forget to ask them in the comments. And to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Google+, and Instagram. Okay? I'll see you around, guys. Bye-bye.